Hey there guys, so the last time in the anime, we saw that Demon Lord had summoned a human named Uchimura to make him one of the 4 demon generals. Uchimura was working in a toxic company in Japan, and he did everything they asked of him, and even then his work went unnoticed. And just then, Demon Lord saw this and wanted Uchimura to work for him. He was a perfectly normal guy with no powers at all, so other demon generals were against him joining their ranks. So the Demon Lord gives a test to Uchimura to prove his negotiation skills. The Demon Lord respects Uchimura and his hard work unlike his previous bosses, so Uchimura did his best and recruits the Minotaur tribe in the demon army, and Almandra got impressed by him. And now, officially Uchimura got position of the 4th demon general, so just as he assumed the rank, he saw the demon territory is small, but it's well organized. He even got his own office here after the Demon Lord acknowledged him. Anyways, as a person who used to work in a toxic company, it was a basic etiquette to greet the peers. So Uchimura went to say hi to another demon general named Sulfid, but instead of Sulfid, her assistant opens the door and apologized because her master is out on a work. That did not go well. And Almandra found him. She came bearing a new task from the Demon Lord that Uchimura has to recruit the Ogre tribe. They need the merger of the Ogre tribe to stand on equal footing with other powerful nations, but the Ogre tribe is particularly as influential as the demon army with the same military force. That's why they are wary of the demon army, so the talks could be hindered, and Almandra decided to stick with him again for this matter. But before that, Uchimura thought of meeting Gnome, another demon general. But suddenly Almandra thought of preparing for their trip and left. And Uchimura saw that Gnome commands a demi-human force, and taking the opportunity to introduce himself. Uchimura asked her about the Ogre tribe leader for additional info. His name was Ogre, and she thinks he's a difficult one because Ogre Chief is brave and bold. As for the rest, she lets Uchimura see himself because Almandra was exposing her bloodlust, and that's why her unit is getting on edge. She was on fire, and Almandra and Gnome seemed to be always on the opposite page. So after that, they arrived at the Ogre tribe chief's castle, but they were made to wait outside for quite a while. It was rude, but Uchimura knew staying calm would be the best choice. And before Almandra explodes, a girl came out to take them inside. Uchimura was noticing every little thing he was seeing, and Almandra asked him to stop as it's rude. Then they arrived at the throne room to meet the chief ogre. He was a typical ogre, and he refused to listen to Almandra before she even began the negotiations talk. Ogre makes it clear he doesn't want to join them, but Ogre hits her nerve by saying that the demon army wants to surrender to him. But he has a condition that Almandra must bring the head of the Demon Lord, and only then he'll accept their surrender. That was the end of the talk, but Uchimura holds Almandra back and takes her out of there. And outside, Almandra was venting her anger out. She wanted to destroy him, but Uchimura told her that Ogre wants exactly that. From the start, he had no intention of negotiating, but it might look bad. So he ticked her off, and if a diplomat creates a ruckus, it would fall on their king, and their side would look bad, and they might even use this to ally with the Demon Lord's enemies. That's why Uchimura withdrew, because forcing to talk will lead to all of this. So that raises the question of what to do now. And there the girl from before came in. She is Ogre's daughter Alyalu, and she wanted them to bring down her father from the throne. That was some serious fucked up mess. So Alyalu showed them their food storage that was just empty. It shows how much they are in critical condition that her people are even struggling to scavenge for food. Uchimura had noticed this from the start when he was taking notes on the surroundings. Even Alyalu knew they had to ally themselves with the demon army, but her father just won't listen. Besides, he's already old and ill. It's an internal info. And before, when they were waiting outside, it was also because her father was preparing himself to put up a strong front. It was good to think about peoples. But Uchimura warned Alyalu that she shouldn't speak to strangers about the internal matter so casually. But his advice shows Uchimura is good at heart, which makes her intentions clear that she did a good thing and wants to marry Uchimura so that he could take over the throne and lead the Ogre tribe as their new chief. It was too sudden for the guy, but Alyalu seems serious, so she wants to seal the marriage immediately. But the dragon lady got super jealous and ended their meeting. Uchimura was trying to put all the trouble into one page to think of a solution. So to think clearly, he entered into his imaginary bar to find a way. There Almandra and Owner were discussing who is the strongest animal. Lion was Almandra's pick, and Owner picked Gorilla because the way it drums its chest, so Almandra picked Pride. Because the lion group is called Pride, but Group and Pride rings the bell and Bro came to reality as he found the way. So first thing in the morning, he called Almandra urgently to put his plan into motion, and after a few days, Ogru was ticked that other demi-human race has joined Demon Army. So what Uchimura did that day was to target other race rather than ogres. Because Ogru is a proudful leader, so he targeted to crush his pride to have negotiation talk. Uchimura used this way once when a large company refused to buy his product, so he targeted small companies and seeing that the larger company gave in. And for those demi-humans, they were struggling to survive and Demon Army could ensure their livings. But Chief lost his cool and Uchimura revealed that his own daughter has helped in negotiating with the other tribes. Ayala clarifies that their priority should be their people, and allying with the Demon Army will save them. She recalls her father was the Almighty One in her eyes, but now he's old and ill. And that's why Uchimura proposed an alliance rather than annexing the Ogre tribe. Chief knew he had no choice, so he took some time to relay his decision, but Uchimura knew the decision would be in their favor. And after a few days, Almandra rushed to tell him the reply Ogre Chief had sent, but he was drowning in paperwork because Demon Lord told him to pick an underling. But Uchimura thought it would have been good if he could take an Almandra, but she took it the wrong way that Uchimura wants her as his partner, and their Ayala came in. She was here to form alliance on her father's behalf, and she relayed her gratitude that because of Uchimura, her father's viewpoint has changed, and thanks to that ogre tribe is trying to recover again, so she wants to repay him, and Uchimura asked her to work for him. She was on board, but Almandra was jealous. But our episode 2 ends right there, so stay tuned to watch another episode of this anime. For that, subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon to receive the latest updates. Till then, take care.